Chris Burns, welcome to the podcast. 3 questions. How are you? Where are you? And what are you doing today?
I am present. I am in Sydney, Australia, and I'm probably going to teach jujitsu today.
Nice.
Can't complain. Pretty good life, man.
Yeah, mate, big time. My first question for you really is what is a Yank doing in Australia?
Oh, I fell in love. This place is amazing. I can't not be here. So I moved here when I was a little kid. My father got a job offer to come over for like a short stint of time. And I did. I lived in Sydney for a couple of years when I was super young. Then we went back to Atlanta. And then I got the offer to do it again, and I never left. So I had to travel around and I have to like do shit outside of here. And I disappeared for a couple years recently to America. But then the option came to come back, and I was like, "Phew, yeah, I'm going right back." So this place
Yeah,
is awesome. Man. You can have lobster for breakfast.
I'd like that. You want to have lobster here. It's got like oil and shit all over it, and yeah,
You.
it's not great. Um,
This place is heaven. I
well,
like
I
saying it every time someone asks, it just pisses somebody off. Like, no, this place is the best. Fuck
But
you.
do you know what? Like a few years ago, but no, not a few years, like 10 years ago, I asked my wife if she wanted to move to Australia because I was in the military still, and you could do like a exchange sort of thing where
That's cool.
I transfer my service over to Australia because it's kind of like in the Commonwealth still. And
Mm.
she went, "No, I'm going to miss my family," and blah blah blah. Anyway, about a couple of months ago, I said to her, like, we could have done that. She's like, "Why didn't we?" And it's like, you're fucking telling me that now? It's ridiculous.
No, this solid decision on my wife's part because she followed me to follow a dream over into the fucking desert. It was terrible. And she got a couple offers. We were debating like maybe we'll move to Boston. We'll live in Salem, like something weird and dark. Like this is the shit we love. But then she got the offer to go to Sydney. I was like, oh, Sydney. And we're gonna go right back to the beach. We'll be over by Bondi. And then we came back and we forgot how good this place is. It's the amount of people that's in Australia, I think is the exact same amount of people that are in LA. Like this is gorgeous. Like, and we're all centralized over by the oceans and having a wonderful time and just relaxed. Well, it depends. If you're closer to the city, you're probably a twat. But you get across the bridge. Well, I say twat because you're probably like really stressed all the time. You cross the bridge over into the northern beaches, and everyone's just kind of wearing UGG boots, just relaxed, and not like the fancy, expensive ones. I'm talking like the Kmart ones. This place is chill as fuck.
Yeah. Um, I live down by the ocean as well. I live in a little place called Exmouth on the south coast of England. It's
Is it
still
pretty?
quite, yeah. Do you know what? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, if you'd have asked me 23, 24 years ago now, if I'd end up living here, I'd say no, because I live like a mile and a half down from the commando training center. So it was, I'm not going to go into it. It was fucking misery going through there. So if I had
Right.
said to you that I'd be living a mile and a half down the road, I would have been like, fucking no chance, bro. But yeah, it's a really nice little seaside town. It's got its own little key and stuff, and I haven't got bored living here yet. So
What's the
I'm
surf like over there?
do you know it's really good.
Yeah.
The places that I go are all like within an hour of driving, hour
Mm.
and 20 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. It's amazing. I try and stay away from the beaches because you probably noticed yourself since kind of like the COVID thing, and everyone went, "Oh, I've got to go outside. I've got to go outside." Um,
God forbid.
yeah, exactly.
Fucking let's go
And
back inside.
yeah, like the outdoor sports just kind of like exploded a little bit, didn't it? And everyone wanted to be a surfer. So the the beaches are super full here. So I'm a little bit
Right.
picky where I go. So I go down to like the reefs and stuff like that, and it just keeps
Right.
the kooks away.
Yeah, no, I'm right on North Curl Curl. Have you ever been out there?
I haven't. No, I think the only beaches I've surfed when I was in Australia was kind of like Newcastle way.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't surf Sydney. I don't think. No, maybe
You should
Manly.
try it, man. The place is wonderful. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's worth the trip. Come out here, like hit Melbourne, hit Sydney. You know, like Janjuk, Bells, Torquay. Curl is gorgeous. DUI is wonderful. I'm the shittiest surfer. I'm like so bad at it, but I fucking love doing it. I'm that asshole that like you have to deal with. So I don't know all the cool spots. Uh, um, Derek would know. Derek would take me to a cool spot, but I'm so fucking busy. So I just take what I can get, and I live like down the hill. I can see the ocean here. It's right there. It's beautiful. So yeah, fuck, man, come out here and check this shit out.
Yeah, I last time I was in Australia was like probably like I don't know, it's a long time, like 99 maybe. So
Ooh, Jesus.
yeah, so before I joined the Marines, I was down there. I spent a couple of months in Australia, then I went to New Zealand for a little bit. I've got an uncle that lives there still down in Christchurch, and
Yeah.
yeah, I was shit then though. Like I was a proper. I was. I'd hate to say I was a little bit like you, but but yeah, I'd love to go now with the knowledge and the skill level that I have now. It'd be amazing. But I think that the power of the waves and stuff in Australia are a little bit different to here, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I nearly broke my fucking neck in Scarborough. Just throw you up in the fucking air and land on your head. This is pretty chill. It's nice. It's not too death defying out here, but depends where you go.
Yeah, I mean Australia is like pretty raw, right? I mean, like the environment's pretty raw and straight out the Pacific and the South Pacific as well. You know, you got those big rolling swells that come through and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but you know, that's kind of what makes it unique.
Yeah, I was upset. Like I was in Redondo and some other place. Like, oh, shit, Redondo people gonna hate me for saying shit like this. Like the waves out here, fuck, dude, it's so nice. And I hated when somebody says like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the beach," and I go out there, and it's like where dirt meets water. I'm like, get fucked. No, no, I need a wave that's trying to kill me to be at a beach. You know. But yeah, it's a majestic beast. This fucking place, gorgeous. It's this weird tropical. Because like further up in the beaches, like the more tropical it gets, the more banana trees and palm trees and stuff. I don't know. It's my kind of, it's my jam. I like this place the best.
Yeah, there's no banana trees here. There's just probably like a load of dog shit on the sand. That's pretty much it.
Someone trying to stab you in front of it. Yeah, like fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
good. I've been to fucking England a lot. I'm solid. It doesn't matter.
Just pick those little like real rubbish doggy bags where people put them on the back of their rear wing mirror, their rear windscreen wiper on the
Yeah,
car.
I just
What the fuck is that about?
yeah. No, I
So,
like the city when I get
what
out there.
is a day in the life of Chris Burns like? And by the way, congratulations on Open Zero Points Academy as well.
Thank you very much, man. So, it's a joint measure between me and my partner, Greg. Uh, I've got a bunch of 0 points around, because my curriculum floats around, and I've got instructors under me that have opened 0 points and renamed their place a 0 point. This one is my 0 point because it's like I said, like the ocean's there, the 0 points right there, and I'm sitting here. So I'm on top of this little hill, and I get to go surf and go do jujitsu. So Greg thought it would be a wise decision that if I'm living there, I should probably have an academy instead of traveling around to the other ones. So this is home base now, and I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to see what happens with this place.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I mean, I started my own gym about 3 years ago, and it
How's
was
that going?
mate, it's brilliant.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
I'm I'm one of these people that doesn't take a step back and just kind of appreciate what you've done.
Yeah.
And you know, I left the Marines in 2022, and then literally in the February, someone said to me, "Who owns? Do you have any SPG gyms in Australia?"
Don't know. Everybody keeps mentioning SBG. I hear it in passing. I'm the worst jujitsu guy. Like, I like how you asked me like about a surfer's name. Like, dude, I don't know jujitsu guys' names. Like, sorry.
That's fair
You can name
enough.
the most, dude, you can name the most famous person. My head is so far up my own ass with what I'm doing. I'm not paying attention to it at all. I remember there was like a long ass chunk of time where I kept up to speed with what was happening because I was part of what was happening. And then I fucking like it just died inside. I was like, no, I really don't care. I hate this. This is so shit. I don't want to be a part of it. And I just kind of wandered off and did my own thing for so long that I've never come back. So when people like mention anything, I'm so far off the fucking reservation. It's like it's hard to catch up. But everybody keeps mentioning them, so it must be a good thing. They keep comparing like they're teaching Rickson style. So I want to know more. I would love to know more. But like I was hunting Rickson style and I found it through a couple of guys that trained like directly with Rickson. So I just ended up training directly with Rickson. I didn't have to go to a place where it was Rickson style. Like, no, fuck it, I'm going to Rickson. And I wouldn't stop. I just had to do that. So I never really got to know anybody else that was doing their thing. But no, I don't know. Maybe there's one down the fucking street. I really genuinely don't know. Because like, fuck, dude, if they are, awesome. Come on in. I'll share my knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, like it was my friend who left the year before. He was heavy into MMA and jiu-jitsu and
Mm.
wrestling, and he became the head coach at the SPG gym up in Manchester, and now
Fuck
runs
yeah,
his
dude.
own gym called Central Performance. Maybe I should know. He's going to kill me because I've said it wrong.
Ouch. Shit for me.
Yeah, I'll say his name anyway. Jordan
What?
Desborough, legend. He's awesome, awesome lad. He's the one who,
You can screen grab this. You're like, Central Performance?
yeah, I don't know. Do you know, I should, while you're
What is that?
talking in a minute, I'll go back through. Oh, yeah, that's it there. Go back through my
Oh,
phone.
it's gonna be great if it was absolutely not that.
I know it begins
Center
with
line.
C, so I mean, that's a start, right?
Center something.
Yeah. Anyway, he's the one that inspired me to do it. So I started up in like a little shitty village hall where I live, and I've opened a gym in the middle of Exmouth, which is really cool.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, like it's not massive, and but I haven't got a lot of money to do it, and I'm doing it all myself. So you got to
Yeah.
start somewhere, right? Haven't you?
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
Yeah. So how did you get into doing jiu-jitsu and end up and like you mentioned there, you went and trained, started training with Hickson. How did all that come about?
Well, I started jujitsu probably around 20. I think like a maybe at 20. I'm very bad with time and space, but around 20. So I had this weird thing where I had arthritis of all my joints. And I was like, it's like COVID. I was like, if everything goes to plan, I'm going to go out on the beach every day after this. No, I just got fucking shit bored. I was just reading books for a really long time, watching TV, wanted to use my body. And I always wanted to do jujitsu like from teenage years. I remember when I was like 14, 15, I wanted to go to military school because I was always getting in trouble. And I thought, like, I need some discipline. I'm a weird fucking guy. So I just saying it out loud, like, that's fucking weird. I need some discipline. I need some order because I just keep getting in trouble. And I don't want to keep getting in trouble. I want to fix my shit. And then I decided that I'll probably do jujitsu. And I never did. I just kept getting in trouble. I just kept being a piece of shit. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse until I got offered to move to Australia for round two. And I moved to Australia the second time. And my life kind of changed because I started looking after someone and taking care of someone. So I had to get my shit together. I was still a piece of shit, but I was a better piece of shit because I had a goal. And that goal kind of kept me going. Um, midway through that, midway through that, I ended up getting physically sick. Like I couldn't move my body, and I got fat because they gave me methotrexate, which is like a cancer drug, and it makes you swell up with water weight. And then when everything stopped hurting, I said, "Fuck it, let's do this. I'm gonna finally do that thing that I was gonna do when I was a teenager, and I never fucking did because I was too busy smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. Like I'm gonna do jujitsu." And I showed up at a judo academy. So I didn't know any fucking different. Yeah, I showed up at the. I'm not gonna name drop the place. I showed up at a place in Melbourne, and they were fucking absolute pricks. Like I wandered in there, and they're like, "Oh, get the fuck out of our way. We're doing the warm up." I was like, "This is not inviting at all." I had like the worst time. Um, and like the next day, I was like, I'm doing it again. And I just kept showing up. And then I realized halfway through, I was like, wow, this isn't the thing I was looking for. So I went looking for that other thing. And then I went there and I promptly got my knees snapped. So within like the first week, I had a blue belt jump guard and my medial tendons get snapped off. And I ended up, yeah, it was fucked. Like, ew. Like the worst starting run for jujitsu for anyone. I guess if you're young and you're just starting, you're so fucking lucky. But I ended up starting jujitsu because it was something I always wanted to do. And then I kept doing it because I was a masochist. So not because like I'm gonna achieve a goal. There was nothing healthy about the start of my jujitsu at all. It was like fuck, this is how I die. Fuck it, kill me. I really because it was shit. It was a shit show. Everywhere I was training was just constant pain and injuries. I was like, fuck it, let's see how far I can take this, like Tom and Jerry, And I just kept showing up because it's better than the life I was leading. Because the life I was leading was really shitty and painful. And I was like, well, if I can take this, I can take this. And then like I was too tired to be sad. So sorry, there's no happy story. Like the happiness comes later for me. The happiness comes way later. But I was in a fucking shitty dark place and I used jujitsu to kind of regulate my sadness and emotions. And it gave me a goal. And while I was doing it, I came across choke. Yeah, I think I was like blue belt, purple belt. I think it was blue belt. It was like blue belt. I saw the VHS of choke. It was the VHS for real. Because I remember we had a VHS player. We still had one attached to the TV at my house. And I put that in and a couple other things. And I saw choke. And I was like, that's the shit. That's the shit that I should be doing. Like actual martial arts, not just fucking wrestle fucking. And I kept pursuing Rickson and any Rickson jujitsu related, any Gracie jujitsu, because there's this huge difference. Like you put the name Gracie on anything, whoa, you fucking 50-50 shot, man. You don't know. It could be this version of Gracie or this version of Gracie. You don't know. So I had to hunt down the correct version of Gracie for me because it's different. Whether anyone likes it or not, it's different. And you can shit on it too, because a lot of people these days want to shit on it. Be like, oh, that's just fucking old school McDojo shit. Well, then you're not training with the right Gracie. So I was hunting down actual self-defense and fighting, not sport. I didn't learn that there was a difference until a long time in. And I thought I could still use this in a fight. Nope, I just kept getting hurt every time I got into fights because I was using the stupid shit that I was learning. And I was doing MMA at the time too. So this is where it gets fucking weird. Like I'm doing MMA and I'm winning using the jujitsu that I learned. So something's right, but something's wrong because I'm still getting punched, but I'm still using the jujitsu part. I don't know what to do. So I stopped doing MMA and I concentrated on the jujitsu for a little bit longer until I found the right jujitsu for me. As my arm fucking breaks, the right crack jujitsu, everything's broken. Um, yeah. So me finding Rickson was not by accident. It was me going like, no, that's the jam. I need to find that guy. And then someone told me there's a Rickson black belt and he's doing a seminar. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go to that. And he's actually a Crone Gracie black belt, a friend of Rickson and like family friend. And he's fucking very good at Rickson's style of connection. So I learned about Rickson's art of jujitsu, not the moves, the art, because there's this underlying kind of current that creates what he does. It's not a collection of fucking moves that you throw in a bag and be like, I'm good at jujitsu. It's the foundation that creates how you're good at these moves. His name's Jason Robick. And I try and push people towards Jason constantly because he's so quiet and does his own thing over in Queensland. And because he was under Takamasa Watabe, Crone and Rickson, and he represents he represents way better than me. Like he's wearing a suit and shit in podcasts. I am the worst. I'm the fucking worst. This is not a joke. Sorry. Didn't mean to wear that shirt today. It's the first shirt I grabbed. But he's this wonderful representation of Rickson's art. And I was lucky enough to meet him. And through him, I fell in love with Rickson's jiu-jitsu properly. Not just like the legend of Rickson. No, I got to feel what that's supposed to be. Because you hear people talk shit all the time. Like, oh, well, he'd be a purple belt. And then when you feel it, you're like, oh, he took my soul. You like all these fucking catchphrases come left and right. You just don't know jujitsu until you roll with Rickson. You fucking don't, dude. You really don't. Like you think you're a bad motherfucker until you feel him lean to the right and you go, nothing works. I don't understand why I do. What do I do with my hand? You just feel fucking retarded. And you gotta go and take your black belt off, put it down, and go like, okay, cool. I know a bunch of stupid moves. I'm an athlete. Let's turn it down 20 notches. Let's learn actual jujitsu. Then I ended up finding Jack Taufer. And Jack Taufer handed down so much knowledge to me, like because he trains directly with Rickson and with Dave Kama. And then I'm just name dropping motherfuckers. Like anybody's gonna know who these people are. Like we live in such a tiny fishbowl of stupid shit. Like if I go to anything else, I go to like a golf place and like, Dave Kama. They're like, no. Like nobody knows Jack, Jason, Dave, Rickson. Fuck, man. Rickson's name is well known because of his achievements. Outside of our fishbowl, I like how we pretend that we're important. We're important. We enjoy this. Anyways, it's just so weird. What was I saying? Words. Jack. Yeah, Jack was the one that handed me down like this large chunk of knowledge, and I proceeded to chase Rickson relentlessly. And eventually, I got to the back door. I said the other day I was in Florida with Rickson, and he's got a gentleman, James Driscoll. I fucking love that guy. It was really cool. The first time I got to meet him, and I said I'm like the dog that they fed at the back door. Like you guys got to train with him because I really wanted to come up with those guys. But I never got to because I was in Australia, they're in LA, and I'm like so jealous that they got to like beat each other up with the correct stuff. Meanwhile, I'm trying to use Rickson stuff and someone's doing Bolos and weird shit. Like, cool. I guess I'll just survive your leg drag attack to an inversion complex. Meanwhile, they're actually refining Rickson jujitsu over there. Blah blah blah. I said, I was like the dog that he like fed at the back door for a while. He's like, no, you're like a border collie. Like, you know some tricks. You're pretty good. I'm like, fuck you. So I'm the dog that's useful that they keep feeding. So that's how close I am to the lineage that I've wanted to be a part of my entire life. There you go. That's the whole thing. Happy?
That's pretty cool, mate. I'm with that. I mean, I don't have like the lineages and stuff like that, and I'm actually pretty bad, probably the same as you, like with following stuff. I've got a really short attention span when it comes to stuff like that. I love surfing and I like jujitsu. I can watch a little bit of it. I've tried to watch like competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
fucking,
can't.
it's boring. Highlights. Give me the highlights. I'll do that.
I can't even watch that. It's just two guys scrambling really fast and hard to try and win a medal. Eh.
Yeah. And
It's the same as sports. I can't sit there and watch football. I'd rather play football. I've always been like that. I'm always going to be like that. I don't understand it, and I wish that I could. Like it's like this really nice community thing where you like, that's my team. I want to watch my team. I'm not that. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't want to watch competition. Meh. I'd rather feel it, you know? I'd rather
yeah.
somebody do like the submission. I'm like, oh, cool. Show me that.
Yeah.
I figure the escape out.
Yeah, I mean, because I traveled around sort of like the UK and stuff. I mean, I started jiu-jitsu when I was 32, 32.
Nice.
I'm 44 now, 43 now, 44 in October. Should know that,
Nice.
shouldn't I? And so yeah, I was pretty late to the party, but I can't do like you say all these crazy fucking bolo shit and all these matrix inversion guards and stuff. My back doesn't last that long, but I just like doing the basics well, fundamentals and
Oh,
making
that's
it.
what happens in the end anyways. You got the guys that are doing all the cool stuff right now. And then eventually their body gives way and they just end up doing fundamentals anyways. So if you just nip it in the bud and do nothing but the fundamentals from the start, you have a much sharper knife to begin with. So you're fine. Just keep that shit up. Don't. Here's a side thing on that because people think that I'm saying like that's bullshit. You never do it. Like no, you should roll with those guys. Roll with the inverted idiots so that you can learn how to deal with the inverted idiots.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. So roll with the guys that are doing the fancy stuff so that you're still up to date with weird shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to be like balls deep in the stupid shit. You have to. Otherwise, you're gonna get heel hooked. Otherwise, you're gonna have your back taken. You're gonna have the matrix complex lock back systems, whatever. Like, I fucking love doing that stuff because the shit that I know still works against that. The wheel's not broken. Like, you don't have to put a spoiler on top of a spoiler on the car to make it go faster. Like, the car fucking runs. And no one gets that. So we get like this permanent cheat code where we can have like 20-year-olds have reinvented the fucking wheel and they scramble really hard into a thing. And your answer is to put your shoulder on the floor. And they're like mesmerized by the fact, like, how do you keep getting out of it? By putting my shoulder on the floor. Like, what move is that? It's called common sense, son. So, like, you're not learning that stuff. And if you concentrate more on that stuff, you're not missing out on anything, dude. So, like, don't bother injuring yourself to get a fucking medal. That's a personal choice, dude.
Yeah,
I got guys I used to train with. They used to go to a clown college. I'm shitting on them. They know who I'm talking about. They used to literally go to a clown college to learn how to do like these weird stretches and shit so they could compete better. Fuck, man. I wish I went to clown college to get a medal I paid for.
I haven't got the ability to do any of that stuff. I don't
But there's
think.
no clown colleges in England.
I mean,
Guarantee there
there's
are.
some fucking clowns about. Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, good segue. Nice. Good
Uh,
recovery.
I remember going to I went to a 10 Planet place where my mom and dad lived once, and they sent me over a load of these Eddie Bravo warm up videos,
Yeah.
and it was like I can't remember. It was like sequencing, right? And it was like this is the really long sequence, and this is the warm up drill. I was like, "Oh, I can't fucking remember that. I've never done this before." And I went down there, and yeah, lo and behold, we did the sequencing, and it was straight into legs straight away. Never really trained legs that much, but yeah, I did all of that. But then when we came to sparring, I was a blue belt at the time as well, and when we came to doing the sparring, it was like they knew how to do all these leg entries. But once you passed it and you got into a dominant position, and you know you solidified like your side control position or your top position, they didn't have anything because they were so integrated into these systems with their legs and stuff that they'd forgot the actual basics of what actually makes doing what we do good and defending yourself and stopping someone punching you in the face and biting your nose off and pulling your ears off and shit like that, you know?
Which is wild, you know. All right, so that's specialization, and a lot of places are gonna end up doing that, whether they think so or not. They're gonna be specialized, like judo specialization, taking people down. So all good martial arts are one fucking thing. The second they start to take an avenue, it's because that avenue makes more money. Is that you wanted government funding? That's why martial art becomes a sport. So when you got guys that, like a 10th Planet is legit. Those are fucking legit. And Eddie's plan was to make MMA better, but there's deficits. I like that. God, I love that video of him and Rickson in the pool room at Joe's. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, but I can do this. He goes, but that's illegal." And Rickson like just like freezes, like, okay, it's illegal. Like, and I'm not shitting on Eddie at all. There's some bad motherfuckers that train at 10th Planet, and then there's some bad motherfuckers that train at Henzo's. And then there's some bad motherfuckers over here. There's always specializations. The foundational principles that make things work are the most important, but they're always the ones that kind of drown and get left behind because you've got hardcore specialization. You have to avoid that. You have to be able to be tempered. You have to be able to go like, okay, this is the stuff that really matters. That's the important thing that no one talks about is telling you what the stuff that really matters is, like distance management and connection, that kind of shit. They show you moves, and then the specialization is specific to a field. So if you plan on competing, there was a deficit for a very long time because when I started, back in my day, we had the old grizzled fucks that were doing jujitsu from like the early 90s and shit in Australia. They were wrestling for submissions while wearing a gi. And then there's this, I came in at the weirdest time. I came in right at that point where I got my ass kicked for about a year, 2 years at that. And then some guys started coming in doing barambolos and some other stuff that they saw on Marcelo Garcia online. And they started doing weirder things that you've never seen before. And the old guys are like, that's fucking shit. That's not jujitsu. And they were complaining and they're like, this is the new way. So it was like this half and half of like super sport versus mean and old, but we're not going to punch each other, but we're going to lie about not punching each other. But like, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. Meanwhile, no one's punching each other. So neither of them are the fucking way. It's the way to win. So that deficit was we had gi, and gi became fucking spider guard. Spider guard became Delihiva, became lapella pilatas and lasso guard, and all this weird shit. And all that space would have been managed by kicking someone in the dick, but you're not allowed to kick them in the dick. So all of a sudden, we've got this big open guard thing, this open guard craze, and barambolos and grabbing the belt and rolling around. And we never filled that space with violence. So everyone got really complacent learning that cool specialization. John, leg lock. So like Dean was out there doing like full on leg locks way back in the day. I remember doing leg locks because of Dean. And then John, he's a fucking smart guy. I was like, there's a giant space. How about we go underneath that and fill that space and break that thing? I'm not going to ignore 50% of the body. And now everyone's going, well, no gi is the way. So they started taking the gi off because you can't do the spider guard. And then they took the gi off and now they're doing body lock passing and they're getting tight again. It's like you just completely reinvented Gracie Jiu-Jitsu over and over again. You cover the distance to manage the damage. You don't give the space for the cool specializations, right? So, no one else seems to care. But I digress. The whole idea of going to 10th planet and they've got a system of learning. I wanted to full circle on this. I actually really respect the idea of like giving a system to the warm-ups and a system to the moves and branching off. I don't teach it. That's not my style at all. But I've got a 10th planet guy that came in to do some privates with me. And he was like, fuck, this is real. I came here to just kick your ass. I was like, this can't be real. And then now he's teaching under me. So I think we're all in the same lane. We're just a little further away from each other on specific things, like leg locks and takedowns. If we could just come together and
Love a bit
maybe
of
get our
Spocken.
shit back together. Maybe we should get our shit back together instead of specializing. There you go. And my spiel.
No, I mean, like one of the things that I I kind of came to realize was that when I was in the Marines, I ended up doing a an instructor trainer in something called the Royal Marines Close Combat Syllabus, and the Royal Marines Close Combat Syllabus
I
took
know that.
yeah,
Hey,
and
I'm a nerd. I'm a violence nerd. That's cool, man.
but we had guys go over in like the 2009 2010 over to America and work with the USMC and saw what they did at the Martial Arts Center of Excellence in the Mace.
Now,
And what we did was that they brought their ideals kind of back, and we ended up doing like a swap draft with the guys that were working there.
ah,
And it took little bits of like a bit of striking, a bit of kicking, some takedowns, and some jujitsu and a little bit of MMA, lots and
yeah,
lots of different things, and put it all together so then people could actually implement real basic techniques, but wearing kit, so helmet, body armor,
yeah.
so doing all of that stuff.
There's some phenomenal throws with your body armor. I fucking love that shit.
Oh yeah, and when you
Yeah,
land on someone, you fucking know about it as well.
yeah.
Rifle
Oh, man,
butt
the
in the
headbutts.
face as well.
What,
And
what is it? One body, one mind, one weapon. I can't remember.
uh,
Fuck, I can't remember that tagline that they use for the Marines. Um, yeah, man.
I
The
should
the
know that.
dis dis shit. The distilling of proper technique and like what's the most violent and useful thing? That's the syllabus. That's what you should be aiming for, man. Like, goddamn, that's the cool shit that I'm in love with. Big fan of Rickson Gracie's jujitsu, like his street jujitsu. Like I'm sure his sport's great, but like the street jujitsu Rickson style, that would click in really well with the fucking military stuff. If you guys were interested, you should check out
Yeah, I
his stuff.
mean, it's really cool because I mean I'm small, right? I mean it's quite deceiving. Like over here, I'm on the screen, I'm like 5'6". I weigh about 75, 78 kilos.
Mm.
I'm smaller than nearly all of my students that I have. But you know, being the smaller guy that can still beat, you know, I've got guys double my size, you know, and that's what's really cool and unique about this, right? So when I did that instructor trainer course, and we did like a little final exercise where, you know, you go around in the salt course, you do a bit of grappling, do a bit of boxing, do some like milling, if you know what that is. You know,
No,
just
what's milling?
so milling in the military is a bit old school. So like, if no one's ever had a fight before, which you know you would have thought people that join the military would do, but there's loads of people in the military that have never ever been in a fight before, a fist fight.
Yeah.
So you stick some gloves on them and you give them a minute, and they just try and kick shit out of each other.
I see you jump them. Look at
Well,
you.
like you know, you put them in
Got
like
jumped in, bitch.
yeah, yeah. So you put them like in the hollow square, and they just try and kick the shit out of each other. But
Mm,
this was a little bit more
yeah.
organized. So you know, you one of the drills we did was you got a big like tractor tire, and you put your lead foot in the tractor tire, boxing gloves on, head guard on, and you couldn't step out of it. So you had
Yeah.
to engage. So you know, you get your striking going. And I always used to get my head punched off. Like I did a bit of boxing when I was a kid, like, but you
Yeah.
know, striking was never really my thing. And all these guys were bigger than me, so that's just nearly knocking me out. But when you combine it all together, you know, the punching into the kicking into the takedowns and then the groundwork, I was like that. Fuck this. Fucking jab, rear hand, leg kick, level change, takedown on the top. I'm fucking resting. And that's kind of how it worked. And it was really cool. And it was really disconcerting for people because, you know, we had some guys in the PT branch that were like, you know, 6'4", 6'5", like, you know, proper fucking meatheads. And, you know, I was taking them down to the ground and pinning them to the ground. And like this little fucking child, it looked like in the photo, was, you know, holding these guys down. And I think that has something to say for it massively, really.
I agree. Well, jujitsu works, man. Who would have thought? It's like it's this thing that you're supposed to be doing. Oh man, here I'll go on another quick spiel. I like how people shit on jujitsu now and say they gotta wrestle. Like, no, wrestling is what's gonna win in the UFC. No, no, it's jujitsu crap. Yeah, because jujitsu shit now. Jujitsu became jujitsu for jujitsu. Like, so nobody knows that back in the day it used to be a collect. It used to be, still is in my world. It's a collection of what works. Like that was all that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was collecting the proper techniques, and that would involve striking. So there was a lot of striking back in the day, but now it's this, I guess, specialization. So if you're gonna get good at something, you're gonna have to like actually pay attention to the thing that works. So that milling, fuck yeah, man. If you're gonna survive milling, you're gonna have to cover the distance, man. You're gonna have to clinch like a motherfucker. Or run, bitch. You need to stack them and run.
I think sometimes people forget about the like what the actual principle of jiu-jitsu was. And look, I'm not like a history buff or anything like that. You know, I've probably seen the same. I've read and the books and I've seen the videos and the VHSs and you know the stuff that you probably kind of came up with. To be honest with you, about the whole point of it was that a trained person could be you know you be the smaller weaker person, but you could be a bigger stronger guy, but fucking that didn't know anything. That was kind of like from my perspective, that was kind of the point. But then when you've got guys that are the same level in training the same sort of thing, and then you stick it into MMA, you know, the guy that is going to be the better striker or is the better at that actual thing is generally going to win. Now you stick a guy that knows MMA, knows jiu-jitsu, and then stick him up to a regular guy that sees the red mist when he gets angry. He's going to get his fucking ass whooped, and that you know principality I think is kind of you know where it's kind of stemmed from really.
Yeah. The brief history lesson on this. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was a culmination of the most important things you should know to defend yourself. It still is. It still should be. So it's the refining of those techniques, not the specialization of other ones to win in a competition. It's literally how do I protect myself if I'm weaker and smaller? That's it. That's all it was. And you can build on those principles. So after that's done, you can add a million things to it. You know, if you're a good striker, help yourself, just throw it in. But it's the best way to cheat. That's all it was. It's the best way to cheat and not be bigger, faster, stronger. If if it was me teaching a 50-year-old woman versus me teaching a 20-year-old guy, I'm going to still teach them the exact same principles, and then we can add on to it and pick their goal. You know, what is their goal? They want to do MMA. What's their goal? Ballet tudo. They're in the streets all the time, man. The guy is traveling back and forth across borders. He needs to know how to fight. Fitness. Fitness. That's a thing. Some people just do things because they want to do things, you assholes. Then there's self-defense. You know, maybe that woman wants to walk to her car with her head held high. You know, like, no, I don't have to be afraid. I'm cool. I got this. I might not knock him the fuck out, but he's gonna fucking regret this. So yeah, man, I think it got lost. I think it's still lost. I think it's being found right now again because it got so muddied. The waters get really, really muddy. You know, like we're going upside down and coming in for some weird, cool submissions to beat another guy under a time limit versus he's going to put a thumb in your eye now. What do you do? Well, what's your answer? I don't know. I just see red. Like, that's not an answer. Just because you're a black belt in jujitsu and somebody's like, I'm going to punch you now. Like, well, then I'll start punching you. It's like we've gone full circle, man. Like, I think we got super lost. I think it's super lost, and I'm not sure how it's going to come back at all. I don't think it's going to come back. I'm
Well,
fine. I've got it. I'll pass
it
it
probably
down to
won't
somebody.
though, will it? I mean, like, social media now is so much the forefront of everything. There's so many different videos and stuff like
What's the
that. And
forefront of fucking idiots that want attention? Said the guy getting attention on social media. It's the worst. People are just doing whatever's cool with a hook, with a shiny thing, and then they get a lot of likes, and then they get a sponsorship. And now they've got a bunch of boxes of CBD oil in their closet. Like, fuck, dude. It's this weird dopamine dump of opening your phone and like, people love me. No, no, nobody cares. The worst part about all of this stuff, nobody actually likes you on there. They're waiting for their opinion to come out of your mouth. It's weird. It's this vacuum of shit. Like the social media version of jujitsu is the worst. And the
it's that
fact that people
it's
are
that it's that
watching me, ugh,
it's that dopamine dump, isn't it? Though it's like
yeah,
you put something out there and like people comment on it and they like it, and that's kind of like the whole
you're
thing with
lucky.
the why people are on their phone. Yeah, yeah.
You get
There's
nice
the whole.
comments? What?
Yeah, it's like someone presses a heart on Instagram and like, ooh, yeah, I've got 50 likes, man. And you're like, I don't know why I'm
Affirmation.
doing it in an American accent, but yeah,
I don't
and
know. It's weird. I grew up with no phone. I had a Nokia brick back when I was like a fry cook and I was doing dishes and shit. I had this orange brick. Do you ever remember those? You had those in England, didn't you?
yeah, I mean, we
The
had like
Nokias.
the Nokia
Yeah,
92
yeah.
was 6210s, and then
I had a trading. Like the rubber bound one was like a fucking brick. You could hit a
yeah,
motherfucker.
I mean,
You play Snake on it.
when I went through recruit training in 2001, and we got made to buy mobile phones so that the training team could get in touch with us. Before
It's
that,
also part of your kit, so you use it as a bludgeon. So
yeah, well, this would have been the bludgeon. It would have been like, you remember those old fucking 80 ones, that 80s ones that are
yeah,
like
yeah,
this, the
yeah.
big extendable.
Oh, the X-Files Mulder and Scully ones. Those are the
Yeah,
best.
exactly. Yeah, or like
Those are the shit.
they had a little wheel on them, and you wound them up like that, and they were,
Force multiplier.
yeah, exactly. And we got made to have one. Before that, I think we had the little dial phones in my house. You kind of went
Yeah, I
one,
had that. Yeah.
and then it come
Fold.
back round. Yeah, I'm showing my fucking age now. Um, and then we had pages, and pages were awesome.
I had a pager. I remember that. I used to
Yeah,
deal drugs.
yeah,
We all had pagers back in the day.
yeah. And
Fuck.
then so it was all of that kind of thing, really. And yeah, I've
Well,
got
now we're
fucking
soaked with information. We've got that phone. Oh God, man, it's like a blessing. It's a complete blessing and curse because I can look up a quote from a book that's in the back of my head that I can't quite remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. I really wanted to think about that today. I can look that up in like 2 seconds. Meanwhile, I go on Instagram, I start scrolling on all the things that I hit follow and like, and there goes an hour of my life. It's wild. And everybody's allowed to have an opinion. And some of the shit that's shown on Instagram is the death of something that I love. So like I'm a little bit moody all the time about like, here's 7 submissions that you need to know now. Like you didn't need to know any of those at all whatsoever. Please stop. But that guy has 20,000 likes on that one video, and he has a whole bunch of acai and fucking sports tape for his fingers sitting in the corner because he got another sponsorship. It's wild the world that we're creating. And
I mean, I bet
I
you
don't
love
know.
it. Like you, it's the same as me. Like, somebody will watch something and say, "Oh, I saw this really cool move," and they come in and they go, "Oh,
You to try it and
and
they
let's
hurt
try it,"
themselves.
and then it doesn't work. Why didn't that work? It was I've just I just based there, and I'm not gonna let you do it. Why won't it work? Just fucking
I
do
don't know.
that.
At least I know I'm gonna be employed for the rest of my life. I'm set. Like you got people come in like with these weird moves that never work. I'm like, well, why won't it work on you? Because I won't do it with you.
Well,
Like
no,
that's a
here's
thing. Like you
here's the
have to
thing
be
with
a
it.
participant in a lot of these moves. You have to be um a willing. There's a willing naivety. Like, yeah, no, we can do this. You can do a rolling back take, and I'll roll with you, and then I'll do the complex, like 30-step conundrum. Like, I'm really proud. I've got a set of blue and purple belts that I left out in Arizona, and I get wonderful messages from them because they go and they train at sport academies because it's like it's hard to get around out there. There's no real public transportation. If you don't have a car, you're just like you're fucked. You live in meth land. It's just that's it. Like I'm gonna walk to the grocery store. I'll be back in 12 days. It's shit, dude. Phoenix is fine. But you go further out, holy crap. I've got a set of these guys that I gave them the fundamentals, and I didn't really teach them anything outside of the fundamentals. I haven't dropped a lot of knowledge on them. I gave them this bare minimum, and I get these great messages saying like, I went to a such and such academy. Uh, they taught this, and this. And they looked at me like I was retarded because I'm wearing a purple belt and I don't know this, and this. And they're just moves, fancy moves. And then we sparred, and no one could tap me out. It was really weird that like every single person, all the way up to the black belt, could not submit me. And then at the end, no one wanted to roll with me. And one of them said, I don't want to roll with you because you're no fun. I'm so proud that I've ruined jujitsu for someone out there. Like, oh God, like he did just let me pass the guard. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit if you pass my guard. You're not a threat. I'm not going to hold a sport guard. The guard for me is being able to kick you in the face. If my legs are pointing this way, I'm not going to invert to do anything to stop you from passing my guard. I'll survive and put you back in the guard where I know I can kick you in the face. So it's a completely different view of jujitsu, and having those guys out there being assholes makes me very proud. I'm never going to teach them anything either. I'm just going to leave them at the fundamentals. I'm not going to teach them anything cool.
Why do you need to? You got YouTube for
Well, they got guns. They're fine.
that.
They're all I give a shit. And every one of them is so heavily fucking armed, too. Like, no, your job is distance management to get to your firearm. Primary, secondary. Threat matrix. No, just stab them in the fucking neck. If this is a fight, it's going down. So you
Yeah.
didn't have to scramble around on the ground. So have your fun, wrestle around, look for submissions, and have a cuddle. Enjoy. Uh,
Yeah, we have. I think a lot of the jiu-jitsu around here in the UK is like you say is very much sport orientated. Um, we do have guys from like the military camp that come down and train with us every now and again. The club that I initially started from, which is an Exeter up the road, they've got one guy that was in the parachute regiment, and he started up like a combatives like session now, which is very much like based on the Gracie stuff, which is distance management, people throwing punches and all that sort of thing, which is kind of cool, and there isn't that much stuff around here like that.
well,
I,
then keep it up, man, because that's a dying art. I know like 3 or 4 people that actually teach it properly. Um, are they doing any firearms retention stuff? So not like disarms, but
well,
like
it'd be kind of
retention.
pointless because we're not allowed firearms in this country. They're illegal. So
I wouldn't say pointless because you don't know when the apocalypse is coming.
That's true.
Just heads up. I
I
would
mean,
rather have the knowledge than not have it. I want to know
but
how to deal with an AR-15, even if I live in Australia.
I have the knowledge. I'm not fucking telling anybody else because they won't know then, will they?
Look at you, fucking assassin.
I won't go that far.
So you gotta do the
Uh,
Machiavelli, man. You're gonna have like no enemies, only allies, and then all of a sudden one night you poison them.
one of my
They didn't see that coming.
one of the things I like to say because you know around here is you must notice yourself sometimes is that there's a lot of people that are unhealthy and not particularly fit. You know, I like to
Still
work
got it in
out.
America.
Yeah, I like to work out, keep fit and healthy. I train jujitsu every single day. I'm getting older now, so I do a few weight sessions a week and stuff. And
Have
I'm like
to.
that. I just say to my missus every now and again, like, I can't fucking wait for the zombie apocalypse because all them motherfuckers out there are gonna die first, and now I'm gonna take all of their stuff.
So dark.
Well, you say what you see. But yeah, I mean, we do a little bit of like knife stuff because knife crime and stuff over here is quite high, especially in like the big cities,
Yeah,
like London, Manchester, and Liverpool and places like that. But yeah, gun crime over here is nothing like in America. So
definitely concentrate on the knife stuff, the machete stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
big fan of that. That's my hobby right now. I'm fine. My jujitsu is good. I go and I see my instructor, and he gives me exactly what he wants me to work on and what I'm going to do for that next couple of months. But the knowledge stuff, like I'm not going to study spider guard shit. I'm good. No, I'm going to start working on my Kali.
yeah. What the knife shit is like? Just fucking turn around and run away. That's pretty much it.
Not necessarily. So, like, you're gonna have to understand improvised weapons and distance management shit and verbal de-escalation. Like, you've had to go through that stuff. Like, the verbal de-escalation is the stuff that nobody fucking talks about, and I think that's the very first line of defense. Situational awareness, verbal de-escalation. If you don't understand those things, well, fuck, man. Someone should have talked about that before they started showing you how to go upside down on the ground. That's where the line in the sand is when it comes to military and police and shit. So if you can't de-escalate the situation, you can't negotiate the situation, you can't use your words like a big boy versus like I'm gonna stab him in the neck. See red. Like fuck, dude. There's layers to this. Threat matrix, dude. Threat matrix like a motherfucker.
We used to do a weapons drill or a drill called Weapons of Opportunity, which is exactly what you're talking about. So
In a
it's,
room.
distant, exactly like what can I use that's close by to like, smash someone in the face and stuff like that. And
Looking at all the knives.
uh,
Your first weapon, your mother's fat.
like
No.
like your
You're
daughter's paintings on the wall behind you, just roll them up really tight and use them as a poker. There you go.
I remember I was having dinner with another Marine, and we were out, and he spent the entire night playing dozens. Like he was trying to see what it would take to crack me. God, ugh, the weirdest alpha crap. It's like just slowly edging towards like making fun of me and poking and prodding, and then he started making fun of my wife. I was like, "It's time to leave, sweetie. Let's go. I'm gonna pay for dinner." It's the stupidest fucking man thing in the world to try and play with that kind of stuff. It's dozens needs to be talked about. Do you guys play that? You
I
guys
have
fuck
no
with
idea
each
what
other?
it is.
Oh, okay. So when you like your mom is so fat, she's got her own orbit.
Okay.
Yeah. So like an
You're just taking the
inoculation
piss out of each
yourself.
other, basically.
Yeah, taking the piss. So Americans can't take the piss. Get ready. Australians got it going on. British are pretty much okay with it. Like the idea of just hanging shit until the person cracks, and then you can know how weak is it.
Well, we
That's a
call
great thing.
we call that banter pretty much, and
Banta,
banter.
banta, banta.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like inadvertent bullying, isn't it? And
Oh, yeah, you don't say.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's straight up bullying. So you're
well,
seeing what it takes to break a person mentally.
that's
It's
what
a
I
whole
say here when I'm teaching here and I'm talking to people, and it's kind of like in How should I say? It's not. It makes me sound really bad if it's bullying. It's not bullying at all. If I start saying stuff to you and it's kind of like taking the mick out of you, that's a sign of affection. If I'm
That's
not
cool.
doing it,
So
then yeah,
being able
you,
to read those two things, because there's a difference between the two things, like taking the mickey, like being funny,
yeah,
ha
yeah.
ha ha. If you don't have a sense of humor, I know how to treat you with very soft kitten gloves. Like I get it, but it's also, oh man, I've been thinking about this a lot recently because part of the kids program is learning how to speak up for yourself, learning how to say, no, I don't like that. You don't speak to me like that. You know, you can say as many things. You can just talk forever. It's just words. And how much we give that power, that's another conversation. Like you can use as many words as you want. It's not going to affect me because it's just words. That's a level of patience that you have to grow over time, and it takes a long time to be able to do that. There's some people that just snap.
Yeah.
And you got to know the ones that are like, all right, settle down, Francis. You know, that kind of guy.
Conditioning to get thick skin.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you can't handle words, how are you going to handle a threat? You know, how are you going to handle any kind of confrontation? You're going to have an adrenaline dump just because someone said your mom's fat. Like, I feel like this, yeah, it's a thing. It really is. And I've got a friend who teaches the kids and he does it the old Gracie way. And I want to learn how to do that. Again, I'm the border collie. I didn't get taught any of this stuff from like, because they were so lucky that family really honed an art and then shared it within the family. And then you got assholes on the sideline like, can I want to know, please. I really care. I want to know. So like the way you make firm eye contact and say, "No, I like me. I'm cool. It's all good, man." Yeah, like that's a level of security that you should have before you even have to put your hands up. You know, like I'm okay. Please leave me alone. Thank you. This can get worse really fast. You know, like I love that stuff. So hostage negotiation, verbal judo, the Gracie Kids syllabus, amazing stuff. You should add that into the military.
Yeah, I think they should. I think milling should come back.
Oh,
Um,
I'm all for a good jump in.
yeah,
Beat you.
you need to feel what it's like to be punched in the face. Otherwise, what are you going to do when it
Oh,
happens for
fuck
real?
yeah. Dude, oh God, 100%. If you plan on actually fighting and you've never been in a fight, you're just lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you got to go out there. You got to get popped in the nose. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, you don't get popped in the nose, man. What kind of life are you leading? You gotta have a couple pops in the nose before you die.
Well, this nose is pretty big, so pretty wide. You're not going to fucking miss
That's
that shit.
rubber as fuck. Rubber. It's all cartilage. I was talking about this yesterday because I was talking about how to lift the head like that, and people do that whole thing like lifting at the nose. No, I'm good. I don't feel anything in this. It's just pure cartilage.
I've got a
Wow.
Polish guy that trains and trains with me, and one of the lads mounted him and caught his nose, and like it almost like you know the little tip on the end of your nose. It's
Mm,
almost like he broke that off. It was
yeah,
all like bruised around the end of his nose. It was really weird.
it's kind of cool because it's just cartilage and like it just comes off, and if you put it back in place, it kind of adheres back to itself.
Yeah.
Adheres? Is that a word? Adheres? I don't
Adheres.
know.
I
It
don't.
just goes back in. It's like all the bones in my arm. They all broke off and then they just went back in and they became hard again. Now it doesn't bend. That looks terrible on camera. Oh, that's so bad.
That's
Yeah.
fine, but you adapt that to the way you use it, right?
Yeah, hide it. If you're gonna hurt me, hurt this one. Trust me.
Yeah, don't
That's the way to go.
Americana or Kimura that. Do the other one.
Oh, just yeah, straighten my because it straighten it for me. I was sparring and I was just letting them do whatever they want after we were sparring, and they fell down. They just fell, and my arm doesn't bend past there anymore. So the floor's like that, and it just went crack. So it cracked the radii. Some I don't know. There's a big
Radius.
crack in there, and I had to strap it up for a couple weeks.
Nice.
Fuck, not even a submission. They just fell on it. Ugh. Fucking, I'm gonna take care of this one for a while. I should get surgery eventually. I got socialized healthcare. I'll get surgery over here because it's not America.
You should come over here. It's free healthcare.
free healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you get stabbed. So what price are you paying? You got all
Well,
those poop bags and knives.
that's fine, but you still go to the hospital and you still get fixed up for free. So it's all cool.
I like that. That's a pretty good lifestyle. Wonder why we don't have it over here.
I have
So wait, all
apps.
right. So it's free healthcare.
Yep.
Free. So explain the world to me. Why is it that I pay taxes to get socialized healthcare here, and then socialized healthcare means I pay less because I've got a Medicare card? Why do you just get shit for free in England?
That's the only thing you get for free, and you get taxed a fucking lot. And yeah,
Okay, so you pay out of your taxes.
yeah, mate, I am not gonna go into like politics and stuff like that because one, I could not give a shit about it if I'm perfectly honest, and I don't really know enough about the economy to talk about it either. So I just sound like a right retard if I did that.
No, fair enough. All right. I like the fact that you don't have the answer and you say, I don't know. You don't get that a lot.
I
You
don't
get
know.
most people just telling you the idea that they think.
I used to do that all the time, and it was one of the if you're on a course and somebody asked you a question and one of the good get out of free jail cards was saying I don't know but I'll get back to you.
Ah, my only answer is I don't know. I'll see Hickson in a couple weeks. And
Fair
I'll
enough.
ask him. I
Yeah.
guarantee he fucking knows. I'm not going to ask him how to do taxes. I'm going to ask him if in my actual field of work, like I actually don't have the answer to that. Let me get back to you. I'll go and ask the guy who knows things, the guy
Exactly.
that I talk to. And if he doesn't know, God knows who he's going to ask. Fuck, we're doomed.
Chris, we've been going for an hour, mate. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you,
Sounds
and
good.
thank you for spending the time.
That's my pleasure, man. Thank you for letting me yell about stuff.
Yeah, I probably spoke a little bit more shit than I should have, but there you go.
Hey, man, proud of you.
Thanks. At least someone is, mate. Appreciate you, and yeah, speak to you soon.
Not a problem, man. Swing on by Australia anytime you want.
100%. And that's it. If you like the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe on your podcast provider. And also leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening.